I'm Michelle Carter, the owner of MCB Nurse Consultant, and I'm the #1 DON coach that helps directors of nurses in long-term care to increase their impact or influence in their income. We do that by teaching them personality science, improving leadership development, learning how to build strong relationships, embracing emotional intelligence, increasing their communication strategies, and also using continuing education. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about the director of nursing and a certified nursing assistant and a relationship that they should have together. As you know, it's the month of June, and June is Certified Nursing Assistant Month. It starts on June 12th to June. Certified Nursing Assistant Week starts June 12th to June 18th. We want to be able to celebrate our CNAs because they are the backbone of long-term care. I've been a director of nursing for over 17 years, so I know how important it is and how important it is to have relationships with your team. It can be a challenge at times, being able to connect with everyone. As a director of nursing, are you able to communicate with your CNAs? Do you have a personal connection? And do you show them appreciation? Throughout this month, we'll be talking about how you can be able to communicate with your CNAs more effectively, being able to build personal connections with them, and also ways to show appreciation. Sometimes we get so boggled down in our day-to-day tasks, being in our offices or trying to take care of the high clinical needs of the residents, we forget to connect with our staff. Our CNAs are the backbones of long-term care. A lot of nurses that come into long-term care have not worked as CNAs, so sometimes it's harder for them to understand the job that the CNAs do. I started off as a CNA 31 years ago, so I totally understand the job that they do. But me being able to understand the job that they do has helped me be able to connect with them better. And I want you to be able to have that same type of connection. The CNA's job is extremely challenging, but it's also rewarding. They have a high physical, their job is extremely physical, probably the most physical in long-term care. And they're with the resident more than anybody. Sometimes they don't feel appreciated, and we want them to feel appreciated. We want them to be able to feel appreciated about the great work that they do. When I first became a CNA, I wasn't even sure what a CNA did. I really truly thought I was going to be handing the nurse instruments, nursing assistant. Well, I had a rude awakening when I first went through my training 31 years ago. I didn't know how I was going to be able to get this job done, taking care of the residents. But over time, I learned how to I learned how to be able to improve myself and be able to get over the hump and do the tasks I needed to do. I had a lot of experienced CNAs show me how to do the job correctly because I was totally lost. Being a new CNA is overwhelming, and we have more and more CNAs coming into the workforce each and every day. But as being a leader in long-term care, we have to be able to embrace them. First, as a director of nursing, you should be the one interviewing your CNAs. You should be the one asking them the questions and letting them know the expectations of your building. Now, I know there's plenty of times that you may have the HR department interviewing CNAs, and that's perfectly fine at times. But you still should be able to have some type of connection with that CNA and build that connection before they start into the facilities. And the reason I say that is it's very, very important to have that connection because you can see when you have that conversation with them where they're going to fit in at and where they're going to be the best fit on each unit. Most of us, and I know we do it, and at the organization I am, we do person-centered care. So we try to have the continuum of care and have the same individuals on the same units or neighborhoods. Well, I think that's the best way to do it. And if that's something that you do in your facility, when you interview them, you want to make sure where they're going to be the best fit. Sometimes the HR department really doesn't understand that part. If you're not able to interview them, have another strong nurse or even have your ADON or another strong nurse that could be able to interview them that truly understands their job and what entails with their job and how they're going to be able to mix and mesh with the other team members and the residents. You have some CNAs where their dementia care is just not their thing. Doesn't mean that they're bad CNAs, but why would you put them in a dementia care neighborhood? Then you have some CNAs that they like that fast pace with the rehab neighborhood. Then you should, but you put them on other neighborhoods. You have to know the individuals that's coming into your building. That's your first line of connection. Interviewing your CNAs, building that connection. Now, in the organization that I'm at, we train CNAs through our organization. I'm not privy to interview them coming into training. That's something that they kind of took with DONs, and they had the teachers, the instructors that do the training, that they do that education. And that's fine. But what I do is, if there's certain CNAs that are hired from my actual campus, I make sure they come up prior to them graduating from the CNA class, and we sit down, we have a one-on-one. I usually take them out to lunch. That way I get a chance to get to know them in a non-formal way, and they get to know me. It's usually myself and my schedule that we sit down and we have that lunch to have a discussion with them, getting to know who they are. Where do they live at? What did they do prior to this? Do they have any children? How's the class going? What things do they learn in the class thus far, and what things do they think they might need some individual help with? I also let them know what neighborhood I think they may be a best fit for at the time. Because when you hire them, you should already know what positions are open. And that's something we'll be going over when we talk about our staffing strategies. But nevertheless, let's get back to our CNAs. Being able to put them in the right position and put them on the right neighborhood unit is so essential and so important. And you do that by getting to know them. You have that one-on-one connection. Take a mental thought of the things that they tell you. If they have children, take that mental thought of if they're aspiring to get back to school or whatever experience that they may have. And when they start their orientation process, make sure you go out there and you check on them. That's going to be your first connection with your CNAs. If you have experienced CNAs that might not go through any type of extra training or just coming through orientation, make sure that you have that connection when they first come in the building. I make sure it's very, very important to have a connection with all my CNAs, whether they're agency CNAs or they're my own staff. It's so important to build that first connection, introduce yourself, let them know who you are, and let them introduce you and ask questions. Just have a general conversation. How are things going? How are things going? What made you come to this organization? Do you need who's helping you? Or how's your orientation process going? Those things are so important. Being a director of nursing, we are responsible for so much. But what I don't want us to forget about is our CNAs, because they are the backbones of our long-term care in our facilities. They're the ones that's going to see the residents before anybody. They're the ones that the residents want to talk to before anybody. They're the ones who have the most physical demand on them, and we need to try to be supportive to them in every aspect that we can. When you walk on your neighborhoods or on your units, talk to your CNAs. When you interview, make sure you're the person that's interviewing your CNAs. If you are not, and that's how your system is set up or processes at your company, that's fine. But make sure you have some input or you talk to that CNA by the time they start that orientation process. I want us to be able to build better connections with our CNAs so they can go to the next level, and also that we can go to the next level. I hope these little tidbits are helping you. We're going to continue each week talking about how we can build relationships, talking about the relationship between the director of nursing and the certified nursing assistant. We're doing that to celebrate nursing assistants for the month of June. Don't forget, Nursing Assistant Week starts June 12th to June 18th. Hope you have some plans for your CNAs so you can celebrate them. These little tidbits are helpful for you, and I hope you appreciate. I hope that these you're appreciative, and these are helpful tidbits for you. If you have any questions, I want you to like and share. I want you to be able to like and share our YouTube channel and leave your comments below. I'll talk to you soon.